So, what is the 10 most popular ways that real estate agents can generate leads? Well, in this training, you will learn the 6 strategies that you can use as a real estate agent to generate leads and which are the most popular as ranked by leading realtors. So, as a warning, you do need to commit with all of these strategies for them to work. You need to be able to be free from distraction because shiny object syndrome will cause you to fail. So just remember the exponential growth chart. It's very slow at the beginning, slow, 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 and then it just all of a sudden jumps up out of nowhere really fast. Well, if you're a beginner in using some of these techniques, then remember that exponential growth chart. It takes time to learn a new strategy. It takes time to implement the tactics. It takes time to get that data in for them to really work. So you want to commit and focus. So before I get into some methods, I just want to clarify a couple of different approaches. So one of them being the paid versus organic. Now, I'm going to be here telling you the case for using both paid and organic. Now, the only real difference here is that your distribution in one is paid and the distribution in the other is yours or your team's time, essentially. So they're both going to cost you. They're both going to require resources. So I don't want you to get too caught up on what is paid versus what is organic, because in both you're going to have to create quality content. In both you're going to have a look at data and do use analytics to improve and optimize what you're doing. So basically, don't get too caught up in whether or not it's paid or organic here in the strategies. Both methods need time, both require skill and management, and they both will cost you resources. But one just can distribute your content, your offer, and the other you can distribute it. So the next is outbound versus inbound, and some people might also use the terms push versus pull. Well, inbound marketing is where you are attracting leads. So you're putting out maybe content or you're hosting events that leads come to you. In outbound, you are going out, you are cold calling, you are door knocking, you are going out and you are trying to provoke a lead that might not have been at the top of their mind. So you are going outbound to pull leads or push leads in. Push leads in to your offer. They might not know about it, so you go out, you find those leads, and then you present them with your offer. So direct mail, so letterbox drops in this one as well. So organic versus paid. Right, so in both methods, you can gain new followers and customers. You're both going to need you to know your target market, and both are going to need quality content. So lead generation methods. These are the only 6 ways that you can generate leads. And the first one is organic inbound. So organic inbound is you distributing content that attracts leads to you. So these are things like YouTube videos, educational videos, These are things like hosting a podcast. These are things like an ebook, white papers, blogs, infographics. These are all organic inbound content, things that are valuable to your lead, that'll attract them to get that value. So the next is organic outbound. So organic, you are doing this push, you or your team, and maybe this is personalized email outreach or cold calling. Maybe this is in-person events, trade shows. Maybe this is social media influencer outreach, partnership deals. Maybe this is content multipliers, being able to use your content that you've created and go out where and present that individually, or like with the direct email outreach to people where you think they might benefit from that. And podcast mentions, so having your work talked about, having interviews done on you. This would be organic outbound. So this is you going out to present your offer, to push your offer onto people who otherwise wouldn't know about it. All right, third, we have paid inbound. So paid inbound, you have digital and non-digital sources. So digital sources, we can include Google, pay-per-click, Meta, social media advertising, so TikTok, LinkedIn, Pinterest, those kind of places. And then we also have non-digital sources. So billboards, mailbox drops, that kind of stuff could be paid inbound. And next we have paid outbound. So a sales assistant, someone that is calling on your behalf, that is cold calling on your behalf, someone that is attending an event on your behalf. This would be paid outbound. And referrals. So your past clients talking about you and sharing with you potential leads. You also have then strategic partnerships where you refer each other. So like networking referral partnerships. And sixth, last one, are recommendations, like the influence that you have. And this is kind of built up over time, but you can also stimulate this by having good, strong reviews on Google. Anything that is going to make you look like you are a good choice when there's lots of options. Anything that's going to stand you out as being unique when there's lots of options. So anything that is going to take you away from a commodity to being something with leverage. This is about branding. The better your brand is, the more recommendations, the more influence you will have in the marketplace, and the more leads will come to you from that. So these are the six and only six methods for lead generation, whether or not you're a real estate agent or any other business, right? These are the only These is kind of like the high level thinking about it, the way that we can break it up. So they all require their own resources, their own time, their skill for these to be successful. But these are the six strategies that you can use. Now, every tactic that we then use will go into one of these strategies. And now I'm going to go into the 10 most popular tactics that are used by real estate agents to generate leads. Now, this is ranked by an expert real estate agent, but he is an American real estate agent. Dun, dun, dun. So you're going to have to tell me how this fits with your experience here in Australia. So the 10 most popular ways that agents can generate leads, starting at the worst, is paid inbound in the form of non-digital leads. And these are leads that are sourced from billboards, radios, radio, direct mail, TV. They're hard to track, they're expensive to get, they take a lot of time to convert, and basically you are just doing mass marketing. This is okay for top of the funnel kind of awareness stage marketing, but yeah, it's going to be expensive and it's going to take some time. So just want to clarify that this is not the same as using a digital paid inbound source, like social media ads, for example, or Google paid per click, because those methods are trackable, targetable, but you do need good following up and nurturing to make them profitable. Okay, so number 9 next is forced registrations. So these are leads that are coming looking for properties, and they are forced to enter their details. On average, they have a low conversion rate of around 1%, and they take about 14 months. These are really early stage, these are really long time frame converting leads. And in a team dynamic, a good team that's using this, you might take 18 months to have that lead convert, and that might be considered good on that mass scale of having a team performing this tactic. Number 8 is networking. So referral-based marketing groups, for example, BNI, Business Connect. Everyone in the networking space already knows a real estate agent or two, you'll find. So it does take time to build up trust and to generate reliable listings through these groups. So it isn't, and it also isn't the easiest to scale. It will require more and more of your time, or you're going to have to get a team member to do this on your behalf, which then kind of takes away from you being kind of known in the same way. Anyway, so networking at number 8. Number 7, getting a sales assistant. So hiring someone to call leads on your behalf. So maybe you're buying leads from a forced registration, or maybe you are investing yourself in paid advertising like Google PPC, pay per click, or Meta advertising. Either way, you're hiring an sales assistant to call those leads on your behalf. Now, because this one is kind of a hidden mix, because we're using paid inbound, and then we are also doing paid outbound by hiring, someone to call the leads for us. We could also call the leads ourselves, turning this into organic outbound. But essentially, right, paying for leads through advertising, by getting them interested in looking at details that they have to give registration, and then giving them a call. That's number 7. Number 6 is content marketing, so organic inbound. People already see you, they like you. It's easier to sell to these leads. Like attracts like, so you're going to be, the kind of content that you put out is what you're going to be kind of attracting back. And so you can kind of be yourself and generate leads that are going to get along with your style. So better client relationships. But producing and publishing content can be quite difficult, and it does take time to get this ball rolling. So specific property leads, so paid inbound source via leads from popular real estate websites, for example, realestate.com.au and domain.com.au. The conversion rate is around 3 to 4%. They're more expensive, and in some cases, you will be required to do a commission split. You always have to be available, so there's less control over your business. Basically, leads are going to come in when they come in, and you're going to have to deal with it then and there. And so that is number 5, buying leads, buying via leads in. Number 4 is open houses. So, you get to kind of pick the type of properties that you want to do open houses for, which will attract your ideal customers to you. You get to go face to face, you get direct feedback. Generally, these leads convert in 4 to 5. Sorry, you can throw 4 to 5 of these a week. So, for example, you could do twilight open houses, mega open house, and open house parties. So, some real estate agents find going all in on the open house to be really successful for their lead generation. Next is direct prospecting, so cold calling, door knocking. So in this, you're going after a specific niche, new home buyers, for example, downsizers. It requires a lot of mental toughness because a lot of people are going to tell you to go away, F off, all those beautiful things. So it's going to require a lot of interpersonal skills to make this work, but it is a great way to make some quick money in real estate if you're willing to put in the work and get that toughness that's required for direct prospecting. Number 2 is referral partners. So this is where you go and find strategic partners that will be working with similar clientele to you. So, for example, divorce attorneys or divorce lawyers, because when people get divorced, generally they have to sell their assets. So, a real estate agent will come in handy for them. Mortgage brokers will be talking to people who are looking at their financial options about houses. So a mortgage broker will also be someone that will be great to talk to with insurance agents, home services. Um, all these guys make great external partners. So you could form an external team of strategic partners, like a board of advisors, a directory of helpers, so to speak, for your niche. But you can partner with these other businesses, these other professionals to refer business to and to get business for yourself as well. And this is number 2. It's really highly effective. People you've known, these people trust you. And it's a revolving door, right? Like you're sending them business, they're sending you business, but it's on a lot more intimate scale. So this might take time to build up and organize, like a strategic partnering network. This is not the same as just the networking events or networking groups or clubs like BNI. This would be one that's like more done by yourself. But in saying that, is not to say that you couldn't find these kind of people at those networking events to create a more intimate referral partnership. All right, and number 1 is your branding or goodwill, the organic inbound that comes from your past clients and your spheres of influence. Right, the people that you just help and you don't ask for anything back. You're showing them lots of benefit. These people talking about you is actually the number 1 source of lead generation. So being happy, helpful person, being honest, being true to your word is all going to build up a strong brand for you. So those are the 10 most popular lead generation methods as ranked by expert real estate agent Brendan. So Brendan is actually an American real estate agent with he's a real estate agent with multiple offices, and that started and grew his business to 100 agents within 12 months. So he currently coaches on using a reverse selling framework. So this is not my personal list. This is from Brandon and what he's seen from his brokerage, working with his agents, and now what he's seeing with coaching agents as well. So I'm not a real estate agent, I'm a marketer, and I partner with real estate agents to generate seller listings as a growth partner. So what I find interesting about this list is that Brandon ranked paid inbound at the worst and listed examples of hard to target and track tactics like billboards and radio, which I would agree with 100%. And actually ones that I see being used a lot, like sides of buses, is used often and at bus stops and trains. Real estate agents tend to like these forms of advertising where I am. But what was not really talked about much in his list there was digital advertising paid inbound. He spoke about it at number 7 about hiring a paid sales assistant to call leads. But when we're talking about actually generating the leads, we have to assume that you don't have leads to call. And the methods that he said would benefit from this, sales assistant was them calling leads that have been purchased. So this is a paid inbound strategy mixed with a paid outbound if you're hiring a sales assistant. So you're buying leads in and you're getting someone to contact them for you, qualify them, book you on your calendar. That would be number 7. So I'd imagine that because this is a little bit more complex strategy, and straight out the bat, that this one wouldn't be as popular, because an agent just starting out, this is going to be more intimidating for them. It's going to have more things that they have to learn up front, and I think that's why it doesn't really go into it, because it might open up another whole can there, or basically the agents are just not using it just because of the complexity of it, the different skills that are required to make that work out, the different management of ads, plus another staff member doing that. So another thing that I have seen is more agents locally doing events. So I saw a article write-up of a agent that did a big open house. Well, it was done in a way that the media found it interesting enough, and they got posted online from these media outlets talking about this agent. So that's really good, awareness marketing for that agent to have her event that was already successful in and of itself being able to be talked about after the fact, to bring more exposure and awareness to them. I've also seen more agents around me hosting neighborhood parties. So these agents are generally using local parks in newly built estates, and seemingly promoting all the new build opportunities that new estate provides, and showcasing that location, and the park is a perfect place to throw on a barbecue and that kind of stuff, like get together with the community, so to speak. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I will link this document for you to have a look at. But if you have any questions, let me know. There's some interesting points here. I guess the only other thing that I want to touch on quickly is this $1 million agent breakdown. This is actually what a Reliable Leads is using, and they're using a mixture of digital. They're using digital strategies pretty much exclusively. So they're using organic and paid media to generate leads, which then they're calling and following up with. And then they got the numbers of how they're doing that. But so then this is interesting that this is a completely digital strategy, and Brendan's list, for the most part, the digital strategies start at 6, and then the 7 with the paid ads. So number 7 here is also what we do at AI Growth Partnership, and it's basically mimicking the success of this flow here that has been used in the industry by Reliable Leads for a few years at least now. Cool. And another thing is just understanding that, yeah, the type of content that you put out and how you do these strategies, is going to impact you. So how you frame your messaging is also very important. This was just talking about sources of leads. So thanks for watching. Peace out.